Hello everyone, welcome back. I am the One-Eyed Crow, and today we're here for another MetaZoo news update for April 17th through the 23rd. I am dropping this a day early. I'm actually going to move the date of these videos back a day. I usually like to drop them on Mondays, but I've been competing with new releases on Mondays, so it's been hard to kind of time that, and then remember to talk about releases in the past tense or just rush out the video. So I'm now going to be releasing these weekly updates on Sundays. And this is the weekly reminder to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. We're only 5 subscribers away from the CN2 Spellbook giveaway. So let's jump right in. On April 18th at 7 AM, we got a sneak peek of the first eBay box topper. This is the zombie token box topper. It's going to be in full holo. And what we also learned from this image is that this is one of 10 tokens that are going to be in the box toppers. Now these boxes are going to have 10 packs per box, and it's already been confirmed that they're going to have all of the wilderness cards in this set except for the secret rares. And it's been unconfirmed whether or not the box toppers can have a secret rare. They did say that the secret rares from wilderness would not be in this, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a secret rare related to the eBay boxes, so I'm curious to see if anything comes from that. MetaZoo did give us a link to the eBay page where these are going to be sold, so I'll put a link in the description for that so you can access that quickly. And these will be dropping Monday, April 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern. In the MetaZoo Hour this week, it was asked what the print run size of the eBay boxes was going to be, and Mike answered smaller than you think. So if you're interested in getting an eBay box, I wouldn't hesitate, especially with how the recent releases of the Revive and fan art blister packs have gone. Be ready. Now they also dropped an article that detailed the eBay event, and in the article it mentioned a 60-day pre-release window. It was clarified by Mike that this does not mean that it's print to order, it just means that it's going to be 60 days between the time that the orders drop and the time that it ships. So contrary to what you might have read in the Discord chats or elsewhere, this doesn't mean that the orders will be open for 60 days, it just means that there's a 60-day shipping window. Also on April 18th, we got a look at a Walking Sam profile picture NFT, and this one is a variant that's all black and white really, and has sparkles on it. So we're starting to see some of these variants that are going to be coming out for these profile pic NFTs, and we've seen a few others. We've seen the Golden Bigfoot, this was released on Facebook recently, and we've seen a Golden Horned Piazza on Twitter back on April 5th. So what we've seen from the preview so far is that there's going to be 2 types of variants that are confirmed, one for changing the entire color of the art, and one for picking out specific features of a beastie and then making that a different color, or making that special. For the previews that we've seen so far, there's been no indication that there's going to be added accessories like sunglasses or jewelry or anything like that, but that's yet to be seen. And this next topic I'm almost afraid to talk about. The fan art packs dropped on Monday, April 18th at noon, and very few people who actually went to the website on time got the blister packs that they wanted to get. Many people's experience was that they added blister packs to their cart, and by the time they could check out, it was already sold out. You had to be incredibly quick on the uptake to participate in this release. Now, part of the issue here was that MetaZoo did not put a limit on how many fan art blister packs could be purchased, so you had some bad actors, some scalpers, going on and ordering in the hundreds or over 100 from what we hear from Mike, and that made it incredibly hard for people that only wanted 2 or 3 to actually be able to get those. So MetaZoo, after the fact, started issuing partial refunds of orders larger than 20 blister packs. And this in itself is not a great precedent to set, that if MetaZoo releases something and you order too many, they're going to take some away from you. So what we discussed in the comments of my other videos about this last week is what limits should be in place, if any, to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And almost everybody agrees that a limit should have been in place. And some people think that should be lowered at 5, some people thought 10, some people thought 20 was sufficient. And I think the general consensus here is, yeah, there needs to be a limit when something is so limited like this, to ensure that the masses can get it, and ensure that the scalpers are not the only people that are really benefiting from this. People that have a lot of extra income to throw at getting 100 in one go and then reselling on eBay for $45 to $100 a pop. Now on April 18th, before the drop, they actually did announce a giveaway on the Discord, so you're not completely out of luck. If you want to participate in that giveaway, go to the announcement channel on the official MetaZoo Discord, click the celebration icon, and you'll be entered to win that. That'll be drawn April 25th at about 1 p.m., and there'll be 10 winners out of that giveaway. And on April 22nd, in the Discord channel, we got confirmation that the blister packs had arrived at the warehouse, so I'd expect these to be shipping pretty soon here, probably within the next week, and I'd expect people to start getting these in hand by the end of the month. Now, one interesting question from the MetaZoo Hour this week, which was on April 19th, was, can we have multiple entries to the fan art contest in May? And Mike's answer was yes, one for each promo. And this announcement is a little troublesome in itself because the fan art contest winners last year got a large piece of the pie of the fan art blister packs this year. So they're good artists, they won last year, they get a ton of entries this year if they'd like to. And then you have the people that bought up a bunch of the blisters now holding on to a large amount of the entries for the fan art contest in May. Also announced on the 18th on Facebook was that MetaZoo is actually going to be releasing a coloring book, and they said, if you don't want to participate in the second fan art contest in May, we have a coloring book releasing very soon, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be fighting my kids to color in this. Now, something we haven't talked about in a minute is the Kickstarter, and on April 18th, we got a look at the playmat that was released on the Kickstarter, which depicts all the art from the playing cards, and around the edges of the mat, you have all of the card suits alternating in a beautiful red and black theme. I love this mat. I honestly can't wait for it to get here. We also got an update on the 18th via the Kickstarter updates that they have some chip boxes that they'd like to share with us. It's not exactly what I was hoping for here. It does feel a little flimsy or not very premium that I would expect for something like this. I do understand they want to offer it for free and they want to cut costs, but I feel like this is something that's probably going to rip pretty quickly with use. And the image is a white box, but they did say that they're going to print some art on that as well, so it should look a little prettier than what they've shown there. Now, another topic we've already discussed this week was the New York City King release in Times Square. That's officially live as of April 19th, and to participate in that, you need to take a selfie with the ad, scan the QR code, enter your address and the selfie, and then wait an undisclosed amount of time to get the card. And there was some really interesting stuff coming out of the MetaZoo Hour for this. We had Zeal ask, can I Photoshop myself next to the New York City billboard to get the Rat King? And Mike responded with, I'll be able to tell by the pixels, which I assume is kind of a joke. And what's interesting here is in the Discord chat, Mike has also confirmed that he's had some pretty funny images of people taking pictures with their computer monitors and uploading that, because there was no actual official wording to say you had to go to Times Square to take that picture. So is there a loophole? Maybe. I'm going to take a screenshot of the screen right now, and I'm going to submit that as my entry for the Rat King and see if that works. And then another relevant question from the MetaZoo Hour around the Rat King was, the New York City billboard is up throughout the end of April, and Mike had responded with, yes, through the end of April. So you have some time to take that selfie and submit the entry. Now, this week has also been pretty big for UFO teasers, and on April 20th, we got a look at what I've been calling the space clams. And we have Mike claiming that this is one of 10 arts to make TCG history, and we got a look at possibly 3 more of those. Kinda. There was a drop a few days later of the silhouettes of 4 cards, one of which was the space clams, and it's assumed that these are going to also be some of the cards that are going to make TCG history. We're going to have to find out about that. Not long after that, there was a picture of a meteorite that has been cut, and you can see the interesting pattern of those cuts. And then not long after that, there was a small image and a pixelated UFO that had dropped. And I've already done a video on this that released a few days ago. Please check that out. It has my theories on what some of this could mean and what the UFO spoilers could be here. The working theory is that Mike is planning to send something into space. Also on April 20th, it was announced that the Play Network ranking system is live. I'll put a link in the description below for that as well. So as you're playing games, as you're at official sanctioned events, you can now earn points and then go online to check your standings. And from what I've seen in the chats, some people are already addicted to this. Now, alongside that announcement, it was also announced that all sanctioned events need to have a metazoologist present in order to qualify for ranking. So if you're a local game store that's doing events and you don't have a metazoologist, it's probably a good idea to start looking for one so you can host ranked games. Now, something exciting on April 20th, we got a preview of some of the Nightfall boards. Now, we've already seen the Grim Reaper, but in this preview, we got to look at 6 more boards for the Wendigo, Indrid Cold, Wood Devil of Coos County, Headless Horseman, Mothman, and Dark Watchers. Now, the Cryptid Nation drop had 10 boards, so I'd imagine that there's 3 boards that we don't know about yet between these 6 boards and the Grim board, and these are going to drop on Friday the 13th at 12 p.m. Now, there's something really interesting that I recognized from the art on these boards. If we go back to March 20th, there was an image that was dropped alongside the MagicCast boxes that I had originally thought was the original art for MagicCast. And if we take a closer look at this image, it's very pixelated, which I believe is on purpose, but you can actually see the art for the Wendigo, the art for Grim Reaper, the art for the Mothman, Jersey Devil, that are on these boards. So what we're actually looking at here is an uncut sheet of the Revive cards. And there's definitely some here that we haven't seen yet. They're just hard to make out and make a guess at what they could be. So please drop a comment below telling me what cards you think are in this uncut sheet that we haven't seen yet, and maybe we can try to piece together what's missing from the Revive set so far. Yet another amazing announcement from the 20th is that we have another new core set coming, and this was first hinted in the MetaZoo Hour when Solid Dante had asked, what will be the biggest set card count-wise in the upcoming announced sets? And Mike's response was basically, well, this unannounced set that we haven't announced yet, of course. And a few days later, Mike had officially announced the unofficially announced set, and we know it's going to be after Seance, which is this fall, and before War, which I don't think we've had an official date on before, but it's going to be after spring 2023. And the last confirmation so far for this new set is that it's going to have a brown and tan theme. On April 21st, Chaos Crystal Enthusiast had dropped a preview of what looks like some piece of clothing and a tag in the bottom corner. It's the promo tag that we see on the cards for the promo cards, and we can clearly see a hem at the bottom with a Nightfall theme to it. You can see the Wood Devil of Coos County and the Boogeyman. And if you look at the material is very similar to what you would see on a jersey, so we're thinking that this is yet another preview of the jerseys that are going to be available for the Casters Cup in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shortly after, we got another look at the What's Your Passion jewelry partnership, and in this case, it's a gold red ink. In last week's update, we got a look at the Silver Mothman and Loveland Frogman, and it's unclear what kind of jewelry that MetaZoo is working with them on. They do all kinds of jewelry, but from what we've seen so far, I would imagine that these are going to be necklace pendants. Now, there are a few other things from the MetaZoo Hour this week that didn't fit into the actual news that I'd like to cover, and the first one is from Singio7 saying, any secret rares that we still haven't found yet? And Mike says yes. Another message from Michael Pet 24 saying, any secrets in Wilderness that haven't been found yet? Mike said, yup. And then another one from SJC Collectibles saying, are there any mysteries we haven't found for Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, or Cryptid Nation 2nd Edition yet? Which Chaos Crystal Enthusiast replied with yes. So there's still some extra mysteries out there, extra secret rares that we haven't seen from some of these sets. And I don't know if there's a difference between mysteries and secret rares, but I can't wait to find out what could be out there. Now, @Hacker36 actually asked an interesting question during the MetaZoo Hour that's related, which is, are you worried about limited secret rares sitting in someone's sealed collection? Which Mike said, that's part of the magic. And this is actually really interesting, because that means if MetaZoo puts something out there that's, say, a 1 of 1, we may never see it. It's very common for people to seal their collection and keep it to get more value later in the future when it becomes more rare. And I'm not going to lie, this is something that I'm really bad at. I definitely feel that FOMO of something sitting on the shelf that could have something really cool in it. But at the end of the day, the odds of one of my boxes sitting on the shelf having a secret rare in it is incredibly low, and honestly, that's what keeps me from opening it, is the thought of, yeah, right. Now, another interesting question came from Jester saying, the community could benefit from having a deck building software. When will we have one? And Mike said, would love to see fans make one. So if you know of one, please tell us in the comments below so we can get the word out on that. Or what are your strategies for deck building besides just laying out all your cards and reading them? Do you have anything that you use to help you build your decks? And probably one of my favorite answers from the MetaZoo Hour this week was a question from Mystic Teacher asking, ever plan on using non-hand-drawn art for sets? And the response was an Adventure Time gift saying, never! And this is something that initially drew me to MetaZoo. So the fact that they're actually committing to saying, you know, we're never going to do anything other than hand-drawn art, it's huge for me for staying around for the long term, because that's what really brought me in. That's what I really love about this. And I do think that the art gets better over time. I think the art for Wilderness is some of the best art we've seen yet, and I really can't wait for UFO. And then as I was digging through the chats before doing this video, I did find a message from Mike that said that Target is going to be announced next Friday, and that they're also going to be doing something special with that. So be ready for an announcement for that next week. Well, that's all I had prepared for this news update. Just another reminder that we're only 5 subscribers away from the CN2 Spellbook giveaway, so if you haven't liked and subscribed already, and you still don't want to after watching this entire video, well, I guess I can't blame you. So thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.